This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, point is verse 17, and it reads, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomever he will, and set up over it the basis of men." I want to start off by giving all praise, all honor, and all glory to Koloyim Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rachakadosh B'Katham. I want to say double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. I want to say peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and their freedom to do so, not more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Akwat out there listening and learning, or willingly this edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yawasop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, and I'm coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. I was trying to find some good, do a video in the news, but I didn't see anything I didn't see anything that moved my spirit to want to do a lesson on it. But I had for a minute now, came across this video about a few of the Roman emperors, these Edomite Roman emperors, because we all know that you had the Holy Roman Empire, and which was ruled by Jake, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, you Israelites. But then you had the Roman Emperor, the Western Roman Empire, because you had the Eastern and the Western, and when you had Julius Caesar and then Augustus, and from there the 12 Caesars. I don't know them in order. Salakia for going off like that. I was trying to think of Caligula was the third one. I know that. You had Julius wasn't even considered one of the 12, although he was the first. Then you had again Augustus, and then you had Caligula after him, and then the Flavian dynasty was like the last ones. But Salakia again, just put more steam and fire under me to, and I got a whole book on the Roman Empire, and that don't justify it because we be busy, you know what I mean? You got to make time, you got to squeeze it in there. But the point of the matter is, it was a couple Roman emperors that were named. Of course, we all know Nero, which was one of the 12. He's mentioned in the scriptures, and I came across something that I didn't know. The elder always speak about how he burnt down, the city and blamed it on the Israelites. So that basically furthered that persecution. But just showing you how base of a man this man is. So I read Daniel 4 and 17.
Strong's H8215, Shafal.
And it says lowest, Shafal. So goes into to be or bring low, to humble. So that's the root word. But basically, when they say the basis of men is the low man, and Esau, Edom, the scriptures talk about how the Most High made him small, made him small. Bear with me for a second. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. So he made you low amongst the heathen. And you see that nowadays, right now you got a lot of nations, I think it was the elder Mwatazak from Ancient Days, LA, going into how, he had a general, and it was a retired general, speaking about how America needs to try to negotiate because they can't possibly win a world war right now, although they're trying to get involved with what's going on in the Middle East between Israel and Hamas. And he was just going, the general kept on saying it, as well as the elder brother kept on saying it, how these nations basically are tired of Esau Edom. He's despised because of look how he moves, look how he treats. This devil played the victim while on the offense. I forgot who made that statement, but it's the fact of the matter. You doing and committing all this wickedness in the earth, but yet and still, you are the cause of the wickedness as well. And then when something happens, you're gonna be play the victim and the aggressor. You can't do no shit like that. So and basically the devil's witchcraft is being exposed. So again, this wasn't meant to be a super long lesson. Again, I came across some videos, and I was just thinking about, like, look who's ruling. You know what I mean? These people are the basis of men. I'm about to show you how so. So this is the copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the Copyright Act 1976. And as you can see, I'm not using this for any profit, or anything like that. So, okay. I've seen a few different videos. I think I'm just gonna come up with two of them.
Was Elagabalus the most disgusting ruler of all time? Elagabalus, who took the throne in 218 AD, was a lesser-known Roman emperor whose behavior rivals that of the most vicious, cruel, and self-indulgent rulers of all time. He chained naked women to chariots like horses and whipped them as they pulled him around. He released poisonous...
That ain't even the one I want, Salakia, because it was another one that actually went into movie.
Known as the Young Devil, Elagabalus was the most disturbing Roman emperor. He was just a 14-year-old teenager when he took the throne and became a prime example of how too much power in a young boy's hand can be devastating. He used woman-like horses to pull his chariots and took pleasure in hearing them scream as he whipped them. Elagabalus dressed up as women and prostituted himself in brothels. He even established a brothel within his palace for him. He appointed people to positions of power based on the size of their penis. Once he let snakes loose on the audience at the gladiator games just to watch how they panicked and fell victim to...
And you know what? That's spiritual too, because this, I forgot what movie is that. I want to say that was the Hateful Eight, because remember, you had the one guy, I can't think of his name. He played in a lot of Quentin Tarantino movies. Some Madison though. He had long hair in the Hateful Eight, and basically he kind of tortured that female. He was friends with the broad, I can't think of her name. The Ming Ray. What was her fucking name? But basically, he was friends with her, and and when they killed all the black people at that the place where they was holding up for I can't think of no names, but the place where they was holding up for Samuel L. Jackson and Samuel L. Jackson and Kurt Russell to ambush him. He basically killed the female. He tortured her and killed her. And then, like I say, it was just like little feminine qualities he had. But this guy came in that same energy because, like I said, he tortured women because he was envious of them. Then he dressed up as a woman. So he was like the first transgender. Well, not the transgender, because the transgender would basically remove, sex parts and whatnot. But, again, showing you the mindset of the devil. And then he basically promoted you based on the size of your penis. Well, when you go into the Washington Monument and, the obelisk in Rome and Washington and Rome, basically the obelisk represents a man's manhood. It's supposed to be, So these devils really, that's how you know who's still in rulership. You know what I mean? Because the way these devils think, you know what I mean?
Poisonous bites. He forced high-ranking nobles and senators to work as prostitutes in a street-like feature inside his palace called Boar's Lane. He performed inhuman torture on his female servants. He whipped and beat them, used sharp objects to cut out their flesh, poured boiling wax on their body, and pierced their body with needles. His foul deeds became so intolerable that his own grandmother ordered his assassination. Known as the Young Devil,
remind you of Joffrey off of the Game of Thrones, just an old sick ass individual. But made me think of the scripture, because what's this? The book of Job, chapter 9 and verse 24, and it reads, Job, Salakia. That's the second time I did that. Job 9 and verse 24, and it reads, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So who's ruling the earth? The wicked, which the Bible tells you in the book of Malachi, the border of wickedness is Esau, Edom. You got wicked people on the planet, but it's a nation that's considered the wicked. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Who are the ultimate judges? The Most High God and His Son, who you people ignorantly call God, and Jesus Christ, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. You had the judges. This man basically changed the appearance of, our holy forefathers, the judges and the prophets. Where do you think the whole term comes from with judges? It comes from the scriptures. Salakia. I got one last scripture because, just showing you how base and low this fucking devil is. I don't know if I'm going to make this a series. I was kind of thinking about it, and I may not. I'm not for sure, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure you got way more sicker individuals than this. And then you got Nero.
Playboy life of Nero.
Well, this one, he being kind of comical, which, but I'd rather play this one.
The Roman emperor who reigned from AD 54 to 68. Roman emperor known for his relationships with both men and women. He was notorious for his extravagant lifestyle and controversial behavior. Spurus was a boy who belonged to a lower social class and was taken by Nero as a lover after Popeye's death. Nero had him castrated and then married him in a public ceremony, treating him as his new wife, and even dressing him in female attire. This relationship caused significant scandal and criticism, as it was seen as an abuse of Nero's power and a violation of social norms. Apart from Spurus, there are other rumored relationships that Nero had, but historical accounts can be inconsistent, and many details remain uncertain. Nero's behavior and relationships were highly controversial during his reign, and his actions have been a subject of fascination and speculation among historians and scholars. The Roman emperor,
and that's why this man is considered a base man, you know what I mean? Like I said, this man literally took a man and turned him into a woman because he in his mind believed he favored his dead wife. Just like when you go into Alexander the Great, that movie with Colin Farrell, come to find out, Alexander the Great was he fucked with boys. Although coming into the truth, I didn't find out he had a son until I came into the truth, literally going through history and, Daniel's 11 and, Maccabees, of course, chapter 1 and, but come to find out he had a weak son that they basically slaughtered, showing you the violence that this devil was capable of. They was all, and that's what it's basically ultimately about to be now. At the end of the day, who's all willing and ready for World War III? It's these devils. That's who's about to perpetuate this. Yeah, Jake is going to get caught up in it, and the other nation's going to get caught up in it, but the Lord is so cold, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is so cold, he's going to use this devil to destroy his own kingdom, That's how base he is, for real. That's how low level thinking he is. Like I said, you had Biden make that proud-ass statement. When you go into proud, you know what I mean? He said, we're America, the most powerful country ever in history. He said something along the lines of that. You talking about basically funding two wars, but yet still, and how's that going to work? It makes me think about, you snuck all these people in under the border. That's probably UN troops. Because like I said, again, trying to fund these wars is going to actually affect this, America. And people are going to start wilding out. So, like I said, these people ain't completely fucking stupid. You got to remember, they diabolical, devilish, you know what I mean? So, Diablos, you know what I mean? Deceitful, you know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what I mean? They was able to deceive the nations to get into power. But yeah, again, just like I said, when I seen that video, I said we're going to have to do a video on it. So this says, this Job chapter 30 and verse 1, showing you how base they are. Job's present state is humiliating. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose father I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my flock. So this is talking about Job, talking about this red Hebrew Edomite. And talking about showing you how base he is. He wouldn't, because these people, literally live like animals, they had to gain, it's funny because brothers was bringing this out a couple weeks ago at camp, how Esau Edom tries to get the whole world under the mindset that, what's uncivilized and what's civilized. People gave up a lot of freedoms and, their ability to survive and sustain themselves in order to be considered civilized by Esau Edom. But these were the most uncivilized people. Scriptures go into how they brayed like animals. They were unclean, they were filthy, you know what I mean? Verse 2, yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up mallows by the bushes and juniper roots for their meat. They were driven forth from among men, they cried after them as after a thief. Because nobody wanted to deal with these nasty ass, despicable, they were more animalistic than human beings. That's why, you got Esau Edom probably can, not probably, but I watched the Edomite literally. I think one of the brothers put in the group chat, did a video on it, showed how Esau Edom, it was an Edomite eating basically like raw meat. He had a whole bunch of dogs. He would feed his dogs and shit, and he would eat some of it. You know what I mean? Or it's this one individual I watch on YouTube, and I think he like an amateur chef, but he came up with his own seasons and whatnot. Because I will say this: YouTube has allowed a lot of people to basically advertise. They create a platform and they can advertise whatever they're doing. He's like an amateur cook, but he created certain seasons that he sell, through just through YouTube. YouTube is how he's promoting it. But point being, I've seen him make some shit. I'm like, damn, that looked pretty good. But I used to wonder, like, is he Jake? Because he looked kind of like he might be Italian, and then he could cook his ass off. It looked like, of course, I've never tried his food, but it looks, you could tell when something looked good. But then one day he popped up with some steak tartare, and then he just afterwards kept on doing it. Like, I've seen him do this shit like 5 times. But he like, it's just so good, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's an Edomite. Like, the fuck, like, these motherfuckers living like animals. You know what I mean? Like, it brings me the mindset of when it talks about the juniper roots, it makes me think of Nebuchadnezzar, when the Most High basically took his mind and made him think he was an animal. Verse 6, to dwell in the clefts of the valleys and caves of the earth and in the rock. And that's why this place is painted with so much fucking concrete, because these people literally are cave fucking men. That Geico commercial that ain't everybody. That was Esau. The fuck? He tried to make it seem like that was everybody. Just like he make it seem like the Dark Ages was, it wasn't no technology. Everybody just was fucked up out here. But no, in actuality, that time, they try to cover that moment up in history, because at that time frame, because it wasn't in the moment. Well, Salakia, take that back, because a day, 1,000 years is like a day to the Most High. So, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, it was a moment, although we were in rulership for longer than, we were in rulership for 1,000 years, It's like this devil has been in the rulership for, well, not even exactly 1,000, you know what I mean? They start coming back into power around the 1400s, a little bit before the 1400s, if I'm not mistaken. It says, among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. So they braid, when you go into a braying, it's like how a donkey makes that noise, or a horse might make a noise, but more so, I've always heard it broken down like a donkey, when the donkey be like, roo, roo, you know what I mean? Talk like cavemen. Verse 8, they were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. And when you look at the acts this man was doing, look at it. Like I said, that's just 2 of them. I'm really considering coming up with a series based on just some of these, I'm going to go through those different 2 channels and see what other emperors and what other Edomites they bring out. And I could just do a series of lessons on that. Because these fucking people are base, But the Most High, again, is about to remove them out of rulership. And you can see them losing their kingdom now, if you got the eyes to see it, you know what I mean? How the fuck, it makes me think about, like, people I remember that were homeless, or, people that literally, like, like my demon. Like, I remember when me and her I'm like, bitch, how's you proud when we both was homeless? You know what I mean? Like, You know, it's a difference between confidence and just pride. You know what I'm saying? You know, again, show you that they're not confident. Like I told you, a retired general or a colonel basically made a statement about how America needs to try to negotiate because he can see, literally it ain't no way to win this war, even with the technology, because you got other countries who have technology as well willing to back, Hamas and Palestine and all that. So that's not confidence anymore. It's just pride, what Biden was saying, talking about we the most powerful. So you about to see great change. And you about to, it ain't coincidental that I've never seen these videos before just till recently. So, make me think about Isaiah chapter 47 about how the skirt's being lifted up. This bitch is being exposed. Like I wasn't even aware about Nero doing that to the man, making him his girl, making him his wife. He made a man his wife, man. How much more base can you get? So if you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of your power, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, or you will be destroyed. With that, I want to give all praise, all honor, all glory to call Elohim Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, double honors to my apostles, the elders of the great millstone, who teach and do rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth with faith and with sincerity, as well as risking their lives and the freedom to do so now more so than ever. Shalom to the Akim and the Aquat out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was edifying. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to the truth. To you, I say shalom. Till next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Say shalom, shalom. Say mawat lababah, shalom.